Hi, this is Anita from Reluctant Low Carb Life. Reluctant Low Carb Life, we don't just look at the low carb lifestyle, but we actually believe in the trifecta of health, which really is three basic things, which is freshness, fitness, and fullness. And what I mean by that is we believe in eating fresh foods. We believe in exercising and living a fit life. And we also believe in fullness. In other words, eating foods which will make you feel full longer. And these might seem like really sort of basic things for eating, but in today's world, actually, those three things are quite difficult. And let me explain why. Let me talk a little bit about ultra-processed foods. Any of you have been listening, you know that this really is something that I have been talking about a bit lately. I've been writing quite a bit on it on different blogs, because I really believe that this is a crisis that we are in, especially as developed countries, such as the United States, Britain, Australia, and other parts of the world where a lot of the food we're eating is ultra-processed foods. There are many people who believe that ultra-processed foods are a threat to public health. I like to backtrack many years ago when I lived in the mid-1990s. I lived in Bangkok, Thailand. And, the Thais ate a lot of foods that were fresh. They were, basically home cooked foods. It was really not very common to see people that were overweight. In fact, most of the Thais were quite skinny. I remember it was probably about maybe 10 years ago, I went back to Thailand. I was shocked to see, how many of the younger people had gained weight. This has been happening in many parts of Asia, whether you look at Hong Kong, China, Thailand, even places like Vietnam today, where once it was almost unheard of to have many of the issues which they have today and the problems they have today. What changed? A lot what changed is in many of these countries, Americans' fast foods came in a huge way. Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, Taco Bell, all of these places came and became part of the diet. Even Dunkin' Donuts. Yes, you can find Dunkin' Donuts also in many of these places too. And that's really the only change that I could see that really had happened. Now, I haven't done research on this. I haven't done like a paper or done data or checked any of this. I honestly have not, but it's just something which is my own observation, which I had seen over the years of me actually living in some of these places and seeing some of the changes taking place. Fast food is basically ultra-processed foods. Chicken nuggets is really an ultra-processed food. I've written a blog about that, about why chicken nuggets is an ultra-processed food. But more than that, ultra-processed foods, many believe, is a global threat to public health. Even something like yogurt, where we would think that yogurt should not be an ultra-processed food. Many of the yogurts that we eat today are actually ultra-processed foods because they have chemicals in them. So any type of food which has a chemical in it, which means it's not a fresh food, is actually an ultra-processed food. It is very difficult today to shop in many places as the United States and to be able to find foods that are not ultra-processed. Some reasons why this is a problem is a lot of these foods are void of nutrition. In other words, the foods do not have the full nutrition you would have. Say if you ate like a fresh chicken breast versus you ate chicken nuggets, your nutritional value, of course, is very different in those. But also at the same time, these foods are extremely delicious. That's why you can sit down and eat a whole bag of potato chips because it's like, this is delicious. Or maybe you eat a whole bunch of candy because this is delicious. So the foods are made to want you to want to eat more. They have biological substance in them, which can be harmful to you. And because of this, there can be this urgent need for us to try to change. And that's what I'm an advocate for in this reluctant low carb life. I am an advocate for us looking to change and to look for us to find ways. Not, we don't have to completely cut out the ultra-processed foods, but they should only be a small percent of what we eat. In other words, 80% of what we eat should be fresh foods. And then maybe the 20% is some that has ultra-processed. If you eat like that, then you would be healthier than most of the other people are in the world today, just by making that change and eating fresh food. I'll put a link to my blog for you to be able to, if you'd like to be able to read more. This really is a health crisis that all of us should be looking at and saying, how can we change our lives and how can we eat fresh and how can we eat non-ultra-processed foods more? This will be better for our health, better for our children, and better for our life.